Have you landed on the ground?
Yes.
Look down at the ground all around. Describe what you see and sense.
I'm in a front yard, and there's a small house on the property that I've never seen before. It feels really far away from here, but it's mine. And there's mountains, and I hear birds.
Mhm.
Sounds like an owl.
Do you feel like you have a body?
No,
Do you feel male or female or both?
I feel both.
Mhm. Would you say you're just an energy?
Yes.
Describe this energy to me. Does it have a certain color or feeling or shape?
It almost feels like two ovals or circles, and they're kind of translucent, sitting right next to each other. Uh, Purple and black,
Mhm.
but kind of moving a lot, just kind of changing shape slightly, but two, definitely two ovals sitting next to each other.
Mhm. Do you feel young or old?
I feel older, but not maybe 40.
Mhm. Let's go to the entrance of this house. Are you able to find the entrance?
Yes.
I want you to go inside the entrance. Tell me what you see once you're inside.
There's a dining room to the right, and there's a living room to the left. It has a red couch, and it feels older. The and the furniture feels older,
Mhm.
and it has there's there's a brick fireplace and like a stone type of floor.
Mhm. Is there anyone else with you in this house?
No, no.
When you go in this house, are you feeling any certain emotions?
I feel a little lonely, but I feel strong. Like I've been through a lot.
And this is your home?
I think so.
Let's leave the scene now. Let's go to a time where you see what you do for a living. You are there now. What do you see?
I see the blue carpet of my current room
Mm-hmm.
and just the very blank walls. The overhead light is on, so it's very like fluorescent kind of lights. Almost like feels like a doctor's office right now.
Mm-hmm.
I see it in the the same way that it was before I moved in. So when I first saw it,
Mm-hmm. And are you working in this room?
no,
What else do you see in this room?
I see the bed I use, but everything else is not mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just empty, and it has like a doctor's office type of chair in the corner and a microscope on the counter,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Let's leave that scene now and go to another important time in this life. You are there now. Tell me what you see and sense.
Um, I'm in my bed and it's me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I I was shaking uncontrollably because I was in so much pain.
Mm-hmm.
I almost felt like tremory.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone else there with you?
No,
What are your thoughts at this moment?
I need help. I had have been drinking to numb a pain, and I feel I feel that it interacts terribly with my body, even in amounts that others can handle. I know I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have a lot of pain, and I just need a change.
Let's move the
And
scene along now. Were you going to say something else?
I felt Matt come in
Mm-hmm.
and he's crying.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he'll help me and he's just rubbing my back.
Can you see his eyes?
Yeah.
Look into his eyes. Are you able to recognize his soul?
Yes.
Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Does he say anything else to you when you're looking in his eyes?
He's saying out loud that he will help me, but his eyes say I need help too, and that he's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kiss his cheek where his tears are to comfort him.
Mm-hmm. And it's important to let the tears flow. Feel all the emotions coming up. Let's move the scene along to a next time of importance in this life. You are there now. Describe what you see and sense.
I'm a little girl, and I am in my parents' bed with both my mom and dad. I think the TV's on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I feel safe. I still feel like something is off.
Mm-hmm. Are you able to see your mom or your dad? Their,
Yes.
do you recognize either of their souls?
I feel my grandmother and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My dad feels really pure, almost like angelic.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Really, really beautiful.
Let's leave that scene now. Let's go to the last day of your life in this life. What do you see?
I'm in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really, really happy.
Mm-hmm.
I have hiking boots on, and I have one dog with me. I have a tank top and a hat, and the sun is shining.
What about your dog with you? Do you sense, recognize your dog's soul?
I I've never seen the dog, but it's saying, I help you. I helped you.
Mm-hmm. Did he help you in another life or helped you in this life?
I don't just I helped you. So another life.
Mm-hmm. Reflect back on your life. What were your last thoughts?
That I don't have regrets because all of my experiences led me to where I was, and I'm very happy, and that I had a lot of beautiful souls in and out of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I am overwhelmed with gratitude.
Beautiful. Let's take your last breath. What happens next?
I feel like I'm gone from the earth. I went far away. I'm not scared.
Mm-hmm.
I feel wrapped in a hug. I don't something big hugging me. I don't know what.
Mm-hmm. What do you see?
I,
Go ahead.
I'm being told that I did really well in that life
Mm-hmm.
and that I helped a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Is there any one specific telling you this?
It feels like it feels like Matt is telling me that.
Mm-hmm. Is he there with you as you left the earth?
Yeah, it's not his physical body,
Mm-hmm.
but it's him.
Beautiful. Let's leave this life now, leaving this person to continue on their own path. They will find peace. Now go to another time and place in a future or past time, another life of importance. You are there now. What do you see? What do you sense?
I'm in a horrible place, and it's from when I was 5. And I'm in the house that I grew up in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels horrible.
Is there anyone there with you?
Yeah. The the person that hurt me,
Mm-hmm.
it's a female cousin. She's older, and I'm just really scared.
Mm-hmm. Look into her eyes. You're looking in her eyes now. Do you recognize her soul?
It's it doesn't feel safe, or it, all I know is it's dark and really scary.
Mm-hmm.
It, it's like black, like kind of shooting out through the eyes and face.
Does she say anything to you as you're looking at her?
I will kill your soul.
Mm-hmm. Let's leave that scene now. Let's go to another time of importance in this life. You are there now. What do you see?
Mhm. I'm walking alone. I, uh, um, there's running water, a fairly narrow creek, and I'm walking against the current,
Mm-hmm.
kind of uphill. It's pretty rocky. I have hiking boots on.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if you're where you're going?
I think I'm going home, walking home.
Mm-hmm. Are you carrying anything with you?
I have a pretty big backpack.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything in that backpack?
Have, it feels like I have a thermos of soup and a book and water.
Let's speak to the energy within the backpack. Everything has an energy and a consciousness. We thank you, love you, and honor you. Do you have a message for Andrea?
The soup was prepared very mindfully, and it was made in a big pot, and uh, it's was blessed before being put in the thermos for nutrition and energy,
Mm-hmm.
and it only brings good to my body.
Mm-hmm.
Very nourishing.
Thank you. Let's leave that scene now and go to a time where you see what it is that you do for a living. You are there now. What do you see and sense?
I'm I'm at home.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm answering emails, and people are reaching out
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying that they need help and that they feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm typing back, and I really care about them and I
Mm-hmm.
want to help them. I feel really peaceful. There's a cat there.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a big gray fluffy cat, and it feels like almost like a grandfather energy, like somebody masculine that has been watching me my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Let's leave this scene now and go to another time of importance in this life. You are there now. What do you sense?
I'm in the neighborhood that I live in now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm walking my dog now,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels something is saying halfway there, like I'm halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel better than I do now, but not as good as I will feel.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the last day of your life. In this life, what do you see?
There is a little boy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he is my grandson,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just big enough to kind of see. I'm in a bed. It doesn't feel like a normal bed, but it doesn't feel like a hospital bed, like kind of something in between, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a hospice. And the little boy can, like, he's so small he can kind of barely see over the edge of the bed, and he's like kind of at the foot of the bed, like I guess there to say goodbye, but he's so young that he doesn't really know what's going on.
Look into your grandson's eyes now. You're looking into his eyes. Do you recognize his soul?
He feels like he has part of Matt in him.
Mm-hmm.
He's really, really innocent, and I love him very much.
Mm-hmm. Reflect back on your life. What are your last thoughts?
I was surrounded by beautiful souls, and I took care of them, but I let them be them, and I gave them space. I feel like I'm proud of my children, and I feel like that makes me feel really good to pass because I left really, really good humans on earth.
Beautiful.
that I know that I'll see them all again, and I'm not scared.
Beautiful. Let's leave that life now. You're moving away from that woman, leaving her there so she may continue on her own path. We send them on their way with love and peace. We now leave that scene with gratitude. Can I please have all of the consciousness of Andrea return back to the body, fully integrating? Can I please speak to the higher self of Andrea?
She's here.
Thank you. Am I speaking to Andrea's higher self now?
Yes.
Thank you. We love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you for all the aid you have given us today. I know that you hold all the records of Andrea's different lives. May I ask you questions?
Yes.
Thank you. Why is it you showed her in the past life where she was in a small house and she felt lonely, and at one point she was in a room that felt like a doctor's office with a microscope on the counter? Why is it you wanted to show her this?
She is not where she should be with her career. The doctor's office always feels cold and scared, and she needs to be somewhere warm
Mm-hmm.
and cozy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And can you tell her why Matt came in crying, saying that he would help her and saying that he would help her?
He wants very badly to save her, but he's fighting his own struggles that keep him from fully lifting her up.
Mm-hmm. She said she recognized his soul. Can you tell her how she's connected to his soul?
Twin flame.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And can you tell her how many lives they found each other?
2.
Thank you. And why is it you showed her the time where she was a little girl in her parents' bed and she felt safe, but something was off?
That was one of the last times that she knew her dad as a pure soul,
Mm-hmm.
and she sensed that something was coming in her life that would take that away.
Mm-hmm. She said her dad felt like an angelic, pure soul. Can you tell us more about that?
When he dies, all of his addictions and downfalls disappear, and he goes on to help a lot of people.
Would you say he's an angel?
Yes.
Thank you. And is her dad trying to help teach her lessons by being playing this role in her life?
Yes.
Can you tell
He
her?
showed
Go ahead.
he showed her for years the damage that addiction can do
Mm-hmm.
so that she wouldn't do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed he showed her how painful the relationship is between an addict and a child, and he's trying to save her now before she is married and has children
Mm-hmm.
so that her children are not ever in that situation.
Thank you. Does her dad's soul have a name? Does this angel have a name they could tell her?
Z- Zion? Z-
Zion?
Z- Zion?
Mm-hmm. And does this angel know Andrea in another life, or how are they connected?
He watches her now, and he hasn't been ready to step in until now.
Mm-hmm. Is he one of her guides or guardians?
Guides from now on, not previously.
Thank you. And was there any significance in the energy she felt from her mom's soul? She said it was like a grandmother energy.
She had really hard time in a past life, um, plague and Great Depression,
Mm-hmm.
and it's caused her energy to feel scared of those things happening again.
Mm-hmm. How is her mother's soul connected to her? Just what's the connection there?
Her mother's soul, she has, my mom has the soul of her grandmother.
Can you explain how it's her grandmother's soul, how she was able to be her grandmother?
When her grandmother died, a lot of her comfort and her groundedness disappeared, and she became more rattled and shaken, which is the nature of her mom. So she lost her strength when her grandmother died.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use the restroom?
Oh, yep. Let me read this real quick.
By She made a big difference by helping them awaken. She helped people understand why their anxieties were present and how to thank their anxiety for bringing them to her so that they can release their anxiety.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't hit record, but I wanted to repeat. I was asking why you showed her after her life when she went away from the earth, and Matt told her she helped a lot of people.
A
So,
lot of people in her 40s came to her with a lot of anxiety, similar to what she went through in her late 20s and early 30s.
mm-hmm,
And they were in very similar situations. And she starts out by asking them all to thank their anxiety because it brought them to her and she can help. And she made a big difference in several lives.
mm-hmm. Thank you. And can you tell her what this, how she helped heal them? Is there a specific occupation that she's doing in her 40s?
It kind of falls under life coaching and nurturing and accountability
Mm-hmm.
that she offers. Very few people at a time she'll work with so that she can life coach them through difficult times. And she works with 2 or 3 people at a time and she calls them and she texts them and she emails them and she works with them to keep them out of a dark place and to teach them about themselves.
Thank you. Higher self, can we ask why you took her to the place in her second life that you took us to? It was a horrible place when she was 5 years old in her house in Texas. And the person that hurt her, she said when she looked into their soul, it was dark and black. And they said, I want to kill your soul.
That unfortunately is a very dark entity within that person.
Mm-hmm.
And really, as hard as it is, she has to give thanks because encountering that darkness allowed her to see the difference between the dark and the light and to choose the light.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Was this a part of any type of soul contract?
That dark entity was going to hurt somebody, and she was chosen because she could fight through it and she could handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have easily led another to another soul to become a lost soul, but she can handle it. she's not lost at all.
Who chooses who this would happen to? Or how does that work?
There's a spirit, and she's feminine, and she's all knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And she makes sure that everything is okay in the end.
Is she like an overseer?
She's overseeing a lot. I can't tell if it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
It feels more like a certain set of people, but I don't know who they are or why I'm in it.
Are you saying Andrea is a part of this feminine collective?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is this and have anything to do with her soul origin?
Yes, she's a healer.
Mm-hmm. Is there any specific galactic race or planet that this feminine energy resides at?
She has moon energy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And can you tell us why you took her to the life where she was older on her last day with her grandson? She was very happy with her life.
There was a sense of fulfillment that she needs to know is coming, that her goals are going to be reached, and even more than she knows how to understand. There's a lot of greatness coming that she doesn't even know how to put into words. And it's in the form of, a lot of that is due to a family that she'll have and a lineage on earth. And that she is the, the start of a completely new lineage on earth. And there's a lot that was left behind when she started her own family. And she is really pleased that that's what she gets to leave on earth.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And when you say she starts a new lineage, can you explain more on this?
There's a lightness and a protection and a calmness and a kindness that will be passed on to her children and their children.
Mm-hmm.
It's a light um, that wasn't present in her parents and grandparents. They can help heal as well.
Beautiful, thank you. Higher self, are we able to start her body scan now?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you like to call on any archangels for assistance today on the body scan?
Gabriel,
Thank you. We call on Gabriel to help assist us with the body scan today. Greetings, we love you, honor you, and respect you. We're speaking to Gabriel now. Are you here?
yes.
Greetings, thank you. Let's higher self, Gabriel, let's begin the body scan now. Scanning her from head to toe, looking for any entities, hooks, portals, implants, anything that is not of her energy. Please let me know what you find.
There was a vaccine at age 17,
Mm-hmm.
and it triggered an immune response that has since escalated into inappropriate immune responses in her physical body,
Mm-hmm.
mainly thyroid and GI.
Mm-hmm. And where is this vaccine located on her body?
It is clinging to her thyroid gland and the intestinal lining.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us what vaccine this was or what the purpose of this vaccine was?
Rabies vaccine for her job as a vet tech.
And thank you, higher self. Can you tell us if this rabies vaccine is dangerous to anyone that receives it?
Yes.
Thank you. And can we ask, what about other vaccines? Are they all bad for you, or are there certain ones, or is there anything you can tell us about any vaccines?
There's an evil vaccine now.
An evil vaccine now?
Yes.
And higher self, can you tell us what this vaccine present now will cause?
They won't know that it's not their original thoughts, but it's not their thoughts. And they don't know. And it's really frightening for those around them. And it's subtle at first.
Who's controlling their thoughts or giving them thoughts?
not the government in the traditional sense. It's something that there's not really a word for.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dark undercurrent,
Mm-hmm.
and it's has a whirlpool, like magnetic pull to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it uses fear
Mm-hmm.
to engage the magnetic pull.
Does this vaccine have any connection to AI or negative reptilians, or can you tell us any more who's controlling this vaccine?
The DNA changes in a body, and they start to think in a group think instead of individual thinking.
Mm-hmm. Higher self, can you tell us what, if there's any long-term effects of this vaccine, or what is what is the goal with giving people this vaccine?
The thought behind this evil current is that it will prolong the planet's demise because there's not as many people coming onto the earth. But that's not the way to do it. Um, some people can still receive the vaccine and be fertile, and some people can't.
Mm-hmm. Does this depend on their vibrational frequency?
Yes.
Thank you. And higher self, is there any antidote or any antidote for people that have received this vaccine that regret their decision, or is there any way to remove it besides these aura sessions?
You can help, and they can call on their higher self. They can choose now to change their vibrational frequency in everything that they do, in what they eat, in what they consume, what media they consume. Mostly what media they consume and what they put into their bodies and on their bodies.
Mm-hmm. So it would take a lot of work and dedication to reverse the effects of this vaccine.
Yes. And some people are already there, and then some people can work their way there, and then some people will succumb.
Mm-hmm. What happens to those that can't get it removed, or Yeah, that can't get it removed.
It's dark. It's malfunctions within. A lot of times it looks like severe mental health deterioration, mental health deterioration, and physical deterioration of not one system or organ, but kind of a collective deterioration. And the mind is severely affected.
Hmm. Does this evil vaccine have anything to do with ascension?
It's hard for those souls. Yeah, they have to start over. They have to start over.
They'll have the choice to go, instead of being transmuted, they'll have the choice to start from the beginning.
Yes.
Thank you. And higher self, is there anything you can tell us for people, for loved ones that have gotten this vaccine or plan on getting it? Is there anything family members or friends can do to help them?
Please turn off the TV and social media. It's feeding it. It's that's the direct path that they want you to take, is the consumption
Mm-hmm.
of media. And to please turn it off and sit alone with your own thoughts and really listen to those thoughts. And when the urge comes to go on social media and to turn the TV on, to really, it is one of the hardest things they'll ever do, but they have to resist that urge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a harder urge than many drug addicts face. It's really difficult.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Going back to this rabies vaccine, how can we remove this for her?
There's this purging. A thyroid needs a full cleanse and recharge, specifically that organ.
Mm-hmm.
And the organ has to be filled back up with unconditional love.
Should we Phoenix fire this vaccine, or how should we remove it? Do we need to use the same technique as any other vaccine?
Yes.
Thank you. Is it okay if we call on Archangel Michael to help remove this vaccine?
Yes.
Thank you. We call on Archangel Michael, please, to help aid us today. Thank you, love you, honor you, and respect you. Greetings. Is Archangel Michael here?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you please help aid us in removing this rabies vaccine for her, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Please let us know when it is finished. And do we need to fill up this area with love light when it's removed?
Yes.
Thank you. Just let me know when that is all removed, Archangel Michael, please.
It's removed.
Thank you. Can we call on Raphael to fill this area with love light, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Archangel Raphael. We love you, honor you, and respect you. Greetings.
Hello.
Hello. Would you please fill in this area with love, your love light for Andrea, please?
Yes.
Thank you. And higher self, can you tell Andrea what this rabies vaccine was causing her? Was it causing her anything?
It was causing an immune inflammation response throughout her body, and it affected metabolism,
Mm-hmm.
and it at one point had taken a hard toll on the cardiac system, the heart,
Mm-hmm.
especially right after. There
Mm-hmm.
was an intense strain on the heart and um, inflammation in the thyroid and the endocrine system.
Mm-hmm.
And it has caused food to not always work as it should in her body.
Mm-hmm. Was it causing her to not absorb the correct nutrients, causing her to be hungry or crave certain things?
Yes.
Thank you. Higher self, can we ask so we know for future, how do we discern what vaccines are safe or if any of them are safe? What can we do for the future?
It starts with the healthcare system, and you'll find a practitioner, and it's not an obvious practitioner, and you'll be guided to that practitioner when the time is needed, and they'll help you, and they'll explain things in a way that's not fear mongering,
Mm-hmm.
and and true science based, and then you'll know when
Mm-hmm.
the actual facts are presented to you. You'll know.
So are you saying we need to research and ask the right questions to know if they are safe for us?
Yes, and there are physicians out there, and everything that's going on now will make them a little bit more readily available than they have been. But there are physicians that do think for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not in the most obvious places, and if they are, then you'll know and you'll be called to them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a large population of them, but they are there.
Would you say the best thing to do is to use our own heart discernment?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Higher self, can we ask one more thing about this evil vaccine in the
Yes.
present? Thank you. Can you tell us anything about, in the future or soon, will there be any relief to everything going on surrounding this vaccine? Is there any hope that you can give people?
There is hope. It does get a little harder before it gets better. There's an uncovering. There is an uncovering. And that provides relief. But that's when it gets worse.
Hmm. Would you say like a revelation? People will see the truth?
Yes. Yes. And they will look back and see how it happened, but they won't be able to see it right now. That's
Hmm.
out of the question for most people.
And will this happen anytime soon? Can you tell us anything about a timeline?
2022, the end, something will be uncovered, and it will be hard until then, but there's moments of relief for the collective.
Hmm. You said that the end of 22.
End of 22.
Thank you. And will those that receive this vaccine, will they have a second chance in at this time?
It, yes, they'll have a second chance, but it takes work to see that they have a choice.
Hmm. So they still have to be somewhat awakened or awakening to realize they have a second chance.
Even if just the door is open slightly.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm sure that will bring comfort to a lot of people. It's very hard times everyone's going through right now.
Yes,
Thank you.
very hard.
Thank you for that. Higher self, can we please continue to scan her body for any entities, hooks, portals? Let me know what you find, please.
The intestines are inflamed
Mm-hmm.
and they are they're leaking. They're not they're they're leaking into the rest of her body. They need to be sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Eh,
What do we need to do to seal it up?
The intestinal lining needs to have light run all throughout,
Mm-hmm.
and the intestinal lining needs protection, like an armor around them to keep this from happening again.
Can you tell us what caused this?
It's a combination of the vaccine causing random inflammation combined with impure gluten
Mm-hmm.
and
Any?
chemicals
Mm-hmm.
on the chemicals on food. It just wreaks havoc on the intestines and caused holes, as it was a foreign substance that the body didn't recognize and didn't know how to digest it.
Mm-hmm. Was there a specific vaccine that contributed?
HPV.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. What can we do to help heal and seal her intestines?
They need to be filled with unconditional love. They need to have the inflammation calmed first,
Mm-hmm.
and then they need to be sealed.
How can we calm it first?
Need the intestines need nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
Calling in Mother Nature and planet Earth to help heal. In her purest form, untouched by chemicals.
Is Mother Nature and Mother Earth healing that for her now?
Yes.
Thank you. And when that's done being calmed, how can we seal that for her?
Through moon energy,
Can we call on her moon energy now and help seal that for her?
yes.
Thank you. Is there any other time she will be able to call on this moon energy in the future to help her?
Yes, with fertility especially. And moon energy will help her feel more confident in her body by removing stagnation and restoring flow.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Is there anything else we need to do for her intestines? Anything else?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth, for help aiding us today. We love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Higher self, Gabriel, can we continue to scan her body, please? Let me know what you see.
There's a stagnation in the fat cells, adipose cells. There is, due to them not being excreted properly
Mm-hmm.
in the waste, which restoring the intestinal lining will help a lot with that. And the thyroid will help as well.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that will help as well is to remove stagnation in the blood flow and to have the heart beat stronger and with more regularity.
Mm-hmm.
It has sometimes there's a weaker beats that don't allow the blood to flow through as forcefully as it should. And that causes the cold hands and the cold nose and the cold feet.
Mm-hmm. Can we heal that for her today, please?
Yes.
Let me know when that's all healed. Is there anything else we need to do to aid in that healing?
Her heart needs to be wrapped in unconditional love. It doesn't always beat as strong because it's stuck open, which is also why people can affect her so easily. Her heart needs to be a little bit more closed off to her own heartbeat, and she has to listen and feel her own heartbeat instead of letting others inside of her heart so much. She has to have love for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Her heart will feel stronger when it's that it only contains her energy.
Would you say she's absorbs others' energies because she's an empath?
Yes.
And how can she protect herself being an empath?
It takes work every single day, but it's very easy to do in any social setting. She has to put a barrier around her whole body, and in this case, an extra barrier around her heart.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And she'll know how to do this when I give her the instructions how to shield herself and however other way she feels comfortable doing the shielding.
Yes.
Thank you. Higher self, can we please continue her body scan, scanning from head to toe, any hooks, portals, entities, reptilian consciousness, anything that needs to be removed, please.
It's on the left side of the torso.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hole. It needs to be filled
Mm-hmm.
with white light.
Who can we call on to fill this with white light?
Gabriel.
Let's call on Gabriel to fill this area with white light for her, please. Thank you. Was there any cause of this left side of her torso to become heavy?
She picked it up when she was very young,
Mm-hmm.
and it allows self-doubt and self-harm to enter.
Mm-hmm. Are there any portals in this area?
No.
Thank you. Is that area filled with white light?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's continue to scan her body, head to toe.
In the neck,
Mm-hmm.
there's a compression, and the nervous system caused a lot of stiffness in the neck and shoulders over years. 12, 15 years, there's been tension held in the neck,
Mm-hmm.
and there are two discs that are being slightly compressed.
You know what discs they are?
T4, T5.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what's causing this?
Once there's a release, and the nervous system can fully relax
Mm-hmm.
and let go of a lot of tension, then there will be space to breathe into between these vertebrae. Once the nervous system relaxes, space will begin to build back up and the compression will be relieved.
And will this happen just with all the healing she's receiving today? Her body will start to relax.
Yes.
Thank you. Do we need to do anything else for her neck today? Is there anything else?
No.
Thank you. Let's continue to scan her body. We don't want to leave anything behind today. From head to toe, looking for anything that is not of her energy, the entities, portals, hooks, implants.
Everything else is hers.
Thank you. Higher self, Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Raphael. Can we all just scan her body one last time? We don't want to leave anything behind from head to toe. Let me know if you see anything else. Thank you.
The lymphatic system needs to be flushed with just white light, just with the intention of cleansing the stagnation in the lymphatic system.
Mhm. Can we do that for her now, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there anything else? Can we scan her body once more? We don't want to leave
There's
anything behind. Yes.
nothing else.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Thank you. Higher self, does she have any DNA that needs to be unintegrated or any reprogramming?
Yes. Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Addiction to her phone. It needs to be viewed as a tool, and she right now has physiological response to her phone that
Mm-hmm.
needs to be removed.
Thank you. And any other unintegration or false negative fractals?
Her father's lineage, they cannot handle grain alcohol in any form,
Mhm.
in spirits, beer, wine, none of those forms of alcohol react to their system, their DNA
Mhm.
in an appropriate way, and it wreaks havoc and causes inflammation. And for that lineage, it's extremely depleting to the energy and lowers the vibration because it's a technically a chemical interaction,
Mhm.
like an allergy.
Are we able to heal that part of her DNA?
Yes, not right now.
Is that part of the work she has to do until it starts to heal?
Yes.
Thank you. And can you tell her, please, does this mean she can not drink any type of grain alcohol, or when this is healed, will she be able to in moderation, or what does she need to know about this?
When she is healed in moderation, it will be effortless. And it's not for 5 years.
Okay. Thank you. Higher self, does she have any negative cords or implants that need to be removed?
There's a cord between her and her mother,
Mm,
and it needs to be cut, and the relationship will change, but it's for both of them.
mm-hmm. Can you tell her why this cord is negative for her?
She has been extremely sensitive to her mother's energy since she was in the womb,
Mm-hmm.
and she could feel all of her mother's emotional stressors, and she had a stressful pregnancy, and it has caused her to feel her mother's stress on earth for the last 30 years, and it's holding her back.
Thank you. And will this cord come back on its own at a better time, or what can you tell her about this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And can you cut this cord for her, or do we need to ask one of the archangels?
Yes, we can cut the cord now.
Thank you. Any other cords or implants?
She has a cord with an old friend,
Mm-hmm.
and it's caused the friend caused her a lot of guilt, and she sucked her energy when they were friends, and now she suffers from guilt for leaving her behind, and she cut her off in an abrupt manner and didn't explain why.
Mm-hmm.
She feels guilt almost every day, and it's not a guilt that she is conscious of all the time, but it remains present.
Mm-hmm. Can we cut that for her now, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other cords or negative implants?
No.
Thank you. What about any hooks?
No.
Negative technology or wires?
No.
Can we heal her from any illnesses today?
Hashimoto's
Mm-hmm.
is what has developed with her thyroid, and it is being healed now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Was she aware that she had this before?
No.
Thank you. Can you spell that for us? Or Hashimoto?
H HASHIMOTO''S.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Can we heal her of anything with her vision today?
Now, with her inner ears, it causes balance, vertigo issues,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes her extra sensitive to EMFs, and she becomes off balance when there's a lot of electromagnetic frequency in the air. Her eardrums have a genetic weakness.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Are we healing that for her now?
Yes,
Thank you. What about her dental health?
she has to do the work that she knows she needs to do. There's a bacterial overgrowth, and she's aware,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to take steps forward to get that under control through lifestyle changes.
Is there anything specific she needs to do for this?
Drink more water and discontinue drinking alcohol, as it kills the good bacteria and allows for bacterial overgrowth and fungal overgrowth. And it's exactly what her dad deals with, and is why he has uh, bridge and no natural teeth. And she knows that that's a genetic weakness, and also eating processed foods hurts the oral health, so that has to cease.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Does she need to regrow any teeth?
No,
Thank you. What about, can we age regress her?
she's where she needs to be now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Does she have any blocked or misaligned chakras?
Throat chakra,
Mm-hmm.
mm, solar plexus, and root.
Were any of these blocked from any of the things we healed earlier, or is there something else that's blocking these?
The throat chakra will become unblocked now through the healing,
Mm-hmm.
and the solar plexus and root chakra that's coming soon with work, with career changes,
Mm-hmm.
and feeling safer and closer to God and being grounded, knowing her purpose.
Thank you. Can we open up her third eye for her today?
Yes,
Thank you. Can we expand her heart?
yes,
Thank you. Does she have any issues with her auric field?
no,
Thank you. Does she have any fragmented soul pieces that are ready to be returned?
there's something that's rooted in earth, a part
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be returned. It has to do with lineage
Mm-hmm.
on her father's side. And it was through the Native American genocide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's caused her to lose part of her that is easily grounded and can hear nature talking. That
Mm-hmm.
needs to be returned to her. It's hers.
Can you tell us how it is she lost this soul piece, if it was from her father's lineage?
And through her father's lineage, there were very few that made it,
Mm-hmm.
and they were very traumatized, and they weren't allowed to connect with nature anymore, and it that there ended the connection with the earth and nature as it should have been due to the trauma.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Would you say this is like ancestral karma or trauma that was passed down?
Yes, it was a ancestral trauma. There was shame in for her ancestors to connect with nature when they no longer were surrounded by their own family.
Mm-hmm. Can we ask Archangel Michael to help retrieve the soul piece for her, please?
Yes,
Thank you. Let us know when she's received that piece back, please.
it's been returned.
Thank you. And will this soul piece ripple out to her ancestors also?
Yes,
Thank you. Can we send them some love light for their healing also?
yes,
Thank you. Does she have any soul contracts that we can end today?
no,
Thank
she's
you.
free.
I'm sorry.
She's free.
Thank you. Does she have any traumas from her current or past lives she can heal today?
She lived through a plague once before,
Mm-hmm.
and it scared her soul to see the fear in others, but she didn't lose any family.
Mm-hmm.
She just was fearful.
What can we heal that for her now? What can we do for her for this?
To integrate the knowledge that she has now into her past self.
Thank you. Can we do that for her now, please?
Yes,
Thank you. Does she have any dark portals on her land, or her home?
her home.
Where are there portals in her home?
There's portals in that lead to dark periods of time
Mm-hmm.
for her. And there's a direct link between her home and abuse that she went through with an old partner.
Mm-hmm. Can we seal those portals now, please?
Yes,
Thank you. Are there any other portals on her land or home?
there's a previous owner still here. And it's because she didn't want to lose her home. It was it was taken from her by the bank, and she is very sad. She's since passed away.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying she's stuck? She hasn't left her house?
She's here. She loved her home, and she isn't trying to cause harm, but she really doesn't want to leave.
Can we speak to her now?
Yes,
Greetings. We love you, honor you, and respect you. And we see that this used to be your home. And
yes.
can you
I
tell?
raised I raised two boys here,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a single mother, and I worked hard for this house every day. It's the last time that I had joy. I was in this home. And when I got sick with cancer, I couldn't afford it anymore. And my boys were grown and I had to leave
Mm-hmm.
and move in with my son. And I lost my sense of independence.
Can you tell us your name?
Faye,
Faye.
Faye.
Thank you, Faye, for telling us your story. we would like to aid you today in going on to the light and going on to the next part of your journey. Would you allow us to help you go on to the light today so you no longer have to be stuck here?
Yes, I'm ready.
Beautiful, thank you. Let's go towards the light now. Let's ask Archangel Azrael and his legion to please help assist Faye in going on to the light so she does not get tricked on her way, please. Thank you. Do you see the light, Faye? Are you going towards?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And can you tell us what you're seeing as you're going towards the light?
Golden shimmers
Beautiful.
and warmth and a tunnel of white light. And it's calling me.
Thank you. Do you have a message for Andrea before you leave?
That I wish her nothing but happiness, and she's a good girl. And I bless her marriage.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Faye. We send you in the love and light of the one infinite creator. Thank you. Higher self. Is there any other portals or anything in her home or land?
No.
Thank you. Can we unplug her matrix cord today? In the back of her
Yes.
neck? Thank you. Can we unplug that for her now, please? And let me know when that is all out, every root and cord.
Okay.
Thank you. And can we fill that with some love light for her, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Higher self, is there anything else that we need to heal for her today?
Fear of the unknown and fear to make changes. There are some changes that will bring abundance and peace
Mm-hmm.
and tranquility. But first, the fear has to go.
Thank you. Higher self, is it okay if we ask you some questions before we end our session today?
Yes.
Thank you. Andrea wants to know how she can remove worry and anxiety about her loved ones and her health.
Trust in God, trust in the universe, and ground down frequently, because the pull between Mother Earth and the moon will keep you all knowing and will keep you safe.
Thank you. She wants to know how she can access a physical body that she's more comfortable and confident in, like weight loss, strength, and feeling comfortable in her skin.
Have to view processed food as a chemical the same way that she is conscious of what she puts on her body and in her body in any other way.
Mm-hmm.
She has to view food the same way. And that's really the key in walking in nature, a lot of walking in nature, unplugged, no headphones. She walks in nature now, but she listens to podcasts and you can't hear nature.
Thank you. She wants to know why she has waves of fatigue that are temporarily debilitating.
Comes from the thyroid disease
Mm-hmm.
and will be greatly improving in the near future. The energy levels will be returning to when they were when she was 20 and 21 is when she felt energetically her best and didn't suffer from fatigue.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And she wants to know how she can fully remove alcohol from her life and maintain excitement and fun in social situations.
First, she needs new friends because there are friends and family in her life that put so much emphasis on drinking to have a good time. And it will be one of the hardest things to separate yourself from them. It's not her family, it's Matt's family, which will soon be her family. They put too much emphasis on alcohol for fun, and some of her friends do the same. And she has to distance herself, not just energetically, but physically,
Mm-hmm.
because she's okay. She knows what to do, but when the outside forces get involved, it's too much of a magnetic pull down because their vibrations are low and they can't communicate with her until hers are lower as well.
Thank you for that. She wants to know how she can remove the desire to numb or cope with negative emotions with quick fixes like a glass of wine or three or unhealthy food.
She has to find a career that gives her the feeling, the purpose, feeling that she's fulfilling something that she's meant for. And those desires won't be so apparent. And it stems from her loving herself enough to know the difference between treating herself and hurting herself. There's a confusion going on right now that she's treating herself, but that's her ego.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually harmful, and she knows that.
Thank you. She wants to know how she can remove the heaviness and worry that she constantly feels surrounding her parents and loved ones, and why it feels like they are sucking her energy and dimming her light, but she loves them so much.
There's a difference between loving someone and allowing their energetic pull to pull you down. You can love them and cut the cords for now while you move on
Hmm.
and you heal. And there will be a method to keeping them in your life just enough, but removing them just enough as well. And it will take work, but it will be really beneficial. She can journal about this, about her mom and dad separately, and why she loves them, but also why she needs to remove her energy from theirs for now.
Thank you. She wants to know when and how she'll be able to speak her truth to others and not worry of disapproval or judgment.
That's coming very soon. Uh, it it will greatly improve when the throat chakra is in alignment and is open, and it will also improve with diet because she'll be ingesting foods that make her naturally more confident.
Hmm.
And with a physical move, she'll feel aligned with those around her and comfortable to speak her truth. And then that will trickle backwards to her current life and her current connections.
Thank you. And she wants to know how she can make a career change and work remotely doing something that she loves.
It's starting the process of helping others. She shouldn't put too much strain on herself to make big moves right now. Just start to open doors mentally, and the rest will follow. She will help others, and they will find her website and reach out to her that way. And it will be working one on one with some sort of counseling.
Thank you. She wants to know what is the best way for to have physical activity and be able to maintain and look forward to exercise without burning out.
It's a matter of not numbing. For instance, the cardio at the gym, she numbs with the loud music and getting through the hikes with numbing through podcasts. And instead its nature walks and being mindful. And eventually, that experience will be something to look forward to and a time when she can connect fully and talk to nature as she should be able to now and hear what it has to say for her. So she'll look forward to those walks.
Mhm. Thank you. She wants to know her soul origin and her galactic race. She has any?
She's a child of the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and she is what in moon's feminine energy lives inside of her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most powerful tool, is to turn to the moon. Moon gazing and connecting to the cycles and seeing how they align to her cycles.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell her how many incarnations she's had and if she's a new soul or an old soul?
This is her third time here on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a strong, strong soldier at one point
Mm-hmm.
in another country in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And she was also she was here and she felt lost. Another time she felt misguided and she never quite found her life's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
She gave up. At the end, she knew that there was more for her. And now I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Has she had incarnations anywhere else, or was she just a part of the moon energy before here?
Yes, in assisting in creating the moon's poles on
Mm-hmm.
Earth and how they affect Mother Nature, the seas, and land.
Thank you. And what made her decide to come to Earth not too long ago?
To eventually help others and to make sure that she was here now during a really important time
Mm-hmm.
when the healers have to make themselves known.
Thank you. And was her energy in the moon always there from the beginning, or is she a new soul?
The moon has always lived inside of her, and she has always been one with the moon energy. And it felt overwhelming in a past life.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. She wants to know how she could protect her relationship, upcoming marriage from illness and infidelity. How can she keep their love strong and committed?
Remove jealousy, because you can't smother someone into being faithful. They are naturally going to be faithful if they're the right partner, and Matt is the right partner. So there's no reason to squeeze so tight, and to release any toxic, fearful thought processes from past relationships, as they don't belong in her upcoming marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And to protect him every day, since she has the capability to protect him, she should do that daily. And his soul gives her permission to do so.
And she can do this with her daily shields on her. She can also do them for her husband also.
Yes. His soul is very open to her assistance in this life.
Thank you. She wants to know how she can stop her own health anxiety, if she had a bad headache, she would think her thoughts would jump to thinking she had cancer.
It's ego, and it's not realizing that she is a self healer.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that she tunes in to herself, the more she'll be able to pick up on any misalignments and heal them herself. And it's okay to reach out for help, but before doing so, before going to any provider, whether it's acupuncture or energy medicine or a traditional doctor, to make sure that she sits with herself, to make sure that it's in alignment.
Thank you. She wants to know how she can remove guilt and inappropriate thoughts regarding sexuality.
That is stemming from the trauma at age 5, and it is now healed.
Thank you. And she wants to know, she is doing all of her spiritual work and practices, but wants to know if she is blocked, if she has a blockage, or what she can do to get to the next step. She feels stuck.
A lot of that has been released today, and now she knows clearly what to do to keep her vibration high, because it has been bouncing from high to lower to high to lower for over a year now. And there is too much of a pull between her, and she has to turn to the light and release what's been holding her back. And she knows now very, very clearly. There's no second guessing.
Thank you. Higher self, is there any last message you want to give Andrea today?
She is a gifted healer, and she has work to do, but she'll go on to do wonderful things for others and for this earth and for the collective. And she will live a beautiful life and have children with Matt, and their relationship will flourish when the hard work is put in between them. They'll raise each other up, and they can lean on each other, but they have to walk alone sometimes and then come back together.
Thank you. Higher self, I have one more question I feel is coming up that she might want to know. You said Matt was her twin flame. Is he of the same energy of the moon?
The sun,
Because he's her opposite.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you've aided us today, higher self. I want to thank all of the angels and guides that have helped us today. We love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling?
Um, that was incredible.
Do you know how long you were in there for?
Not at all. Right at the very end, I heard my fiance sneak in, and it like kind of clued me in just based on when he would normally get home, but it wasn't until the very end.
I think it was about 3 hours.
Mm,
But yes, that was some amazing healing you received and some amazing knowledge.
is it okay to sit up now?
Yeah, go ahead, sit up.
Okay.
Take a drink of water. Definitely drink some water.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was incredible.
Look like you feel a little lighter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Totally. I feel really good.
Good. So it's important to definitely ground down after this and
Okay.
watch your video as soon as possible within 24 to 48 hours because it holds all of the quantum healing energy. So it's really going to anchor in and seal in all the healing you received today.
Okay. So
So
I could like tomorrow morning. It's
yes.
okay. Okay.
So I'll send you that tonight, along with how to shield yourself, do the force fields of shielding, and you can also do that on your husband daily, like you were saying earlier. And then you will receive alchemy symbols also. Oh, and the
Mm.
aftercare. That's what I meant to say. So I
Okay.
will send that to you after this. Do you remember most of it, or were you think you were aware of what was going on, or remember bits and pieces?
Bits and pieces. Like, I think the part that I was more aware was like the questions, like something about my own words.
Okay.
I feel like I kind of like came a little bit back for that. Like it,
Mm,
but that was pretty much it. Except I feel like maybe like I'm trying to figure out like if it's one of those things where you like remember things later on, but I don't think so.
okay. I just kind of like pulled you back in for a second. Um, and also, would you be willing to share this video with others? For
Yes,
help
definitely.
them? So you did,
Please.
I know you don't remember all of it, but you did give some really good insights about, what's going on in the world today. And
Mm,
I think that would, really help a lot of people.
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I think that's good. Gosh, we need more of that.
For sure. If there's any parts you want me to cut out, you can let me know too.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Okay.
Um, I feel like I'll probably want to share it all, but
Okay.
yeah,
So
I'll
just let me
definitely
know
let you know.
after you watch it and everything. Um, and you can also sage the room and yourself after. Um, that would be good to do. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, just watch your video as soon as you can. Do you have any other questions for your aftercare or anything else?
No, like I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. Like when I started to having Reiki last year, I would get really like floaty afterwards, but I figured
Mhm.
out like how to ground back down and like definitely baths and like my like I think my grounding stones, like my tourmaline
Epsom salt bath would be really good to help
and
release
yeah.
the residuals that you're releasing now,
Okay.
or going for a walk. Also, I was going to mention, it's still good to receive energy healing or any healing modalities after this when you're ready.
Okay.
But, always use your discernment for who you're going to, make sure they're using shields of protection because you don't, after being all cleared, you don't want anything else to get back on you.
Okay.
Want to make sure if you're getting healing work that they're doing shields of protection and just use your own discernment. You already know.
Yeah.
um I think that's it.
Mhm.
So I'll send all that stuff to you, and thank you so much. Your aura looks completely different now. It looks like rainbow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel really, really nice. I feel like I just like thank you so much, I guess is just what I want to say. You're super gifted and you're a healer for sure.
Thank you. I do it for you.
Thank you. Thank
you're,
you.
you're a healer too. You're gonna do a lot of stuff. You already are.
It's exciting.
All right. Well, have a rest up. I'll send you that stuff over, and you can always text
Yeah,
me if anything comes up or anything.
I will. Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.